Okay, so okay, so I have one.
Now, if you want to say, is that what happened? If you just say different places that they use, and now they.
Good evening, now.
Good evening. How are you?
Okay, fine.
Yeah, good evening.
Uncle.
Good evening, President.
Oh, all right, fine. Please, sorry, I'm apologies for the little glitch here and there. Yeah, I'm sorry. So we'll be starting right away without wasting much of our time. So first, I would like to Agmachi Kene Ndinine Neba as so Agmachi actually Kene Ndinine not here, you know, for making our time for this event, right? This is our second webinar. So we'll have two speakers today that will be addressing the issues that we're facing on mentor-mentee relationship, right? So that's all Aige. So we have two speakers. One, we have Chibweze Opiagagwai Oku, and also we have Mr. Chidube Mjeze that will be speaking to us. So we have also the modus operandi is that our questions, right, and we're a chat where we can queue our questions if any come up at any time. Then we can also use the raise hand features to indicate 9 questions actually, so that way we will be organized and we'll get the best out of today's event. So Ekenekwe Moon once more, right? So then from time to time, if I can be heard, Chisom, please confirm that I can be heard from your end.
I can hear you, bro.
Oh, all right, all right.
I can hear you clearly.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay, so we'll be kicking up now. So the first person I'm about Chibweze Ophia. So Chibweze Ophia will be addressing us from a research point of view so that we would understand the research out there and what we've been told on the topic we have at hand, which is the mentor-mentee relationship. So permit me to invite Chibweze Ophia Boybai. He's the ex-president of Ibobo Foundation as he mounts the stage. Please, Chibweze, let's welcome Chibweze Ophia.
Thank you, President. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chibweze Ophia, just like President said, I'm ex-president of Ibobo. And so I'll be taking us on the topic, which is mentor-mentee relationship, a necessity in human capital development. So a week ago, the president, which is up on your phone, found that Ocho can discuss what he wants to speak about the topic, mentor-mentee relationship. So
I'm sorry to interrupt. Old school, but I think we're struggling with hearing you. Am I the only one?
No, you're not.
Hello?
It's not so clear.
Yeah. Old school, try go do what with the cells. Let's see if it will be better.
Okay. Yeah, hello? Give me a moment.
Old school.
Hello?
Yeah, just use your computer audio. Forget
Yeah.
about those, some of those devices are usually malfunctioning. Just focus on your computer audio. I'm sure with that, you'll be fine.
Okay.
Eh? If that were your computer audio, if that were the audio card, if from your computer.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I think he probably knows what the issue is, but he needs to fix it.
Chisom, can you hear me well so that we are sure that we are not having a general problem?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes. God.
Hello?
Yeah, just keep talking. We'll tell you if we're still struggling to hear.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Yeah. So, that now talk who about talking to hello?
Yeah, Chibueze, we're still struggling to hear.
I think this one is worse.
Yeah, I think this one is worse. In order to fill the gap, do I start so that Chibueze can take time to fix his computer issue? I'm sure if he restarts his system now, we can get this under control.
I agree with you. I think you should start.
Okay, good.
Mm.
Yeah,
While he sorts out his network.
Authorization, I will start. Then Chibueze will continue from wherever if he's able to fix his audio issues.
All right, you can start. So you can start sharing your screen now.
Okay, very good. So I'm going to share my screen now. Good. Ndogwen, anme ewe inte my. Chibueze. Okay.
Uncle, your screen is on now. Your screen is up, but okay.
Yeah, now I'm coming. I hope I'm sharing the correct screen now. I hope this is the correct screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so thank you very much, President, for the honor and opportunity to share my thoughts on the topic mentor-mentee Okay.
All right.
So a very short PowerPoint summary of what my thoughts are on this topic. I will do some kind of a disclaimer that the thoughts I'm sharing here are very imperfect thoughts that are based on my limitations, you know, so they cannot be anything near complete. It was just meant to excite and annoy some of you so that we can get some stimulating questions that will lead us into an engaging conversation. So, of course, this is Ibobo Development Foundation effort to mentorship, right?
Uh-huh.
So now I'll go straight to the first page, which talks about mentorship. And my opinion is that, you know, for a progressive development and growth of a community, it depends largely on the capacity and orientation of individual members of the community to ideate, innovate, work cooperatively to provide solutions to prevailing challenges and improve their environment and quality of life. I also think that mentorship is a very fundamental or foundational to formation and development of children and young adults into productive and responsible members of society. Also, this is a summary of what I think about mentorship. I also think that mentorship is largely about guidance and counseling. My feeling is that unfortunately, the application of mentorship in human development and education in Nigeria has been very poorly utilized to the detriment of our communities and country. Therefore, I feel that the intervention in the restoration of the application of mentorship, in bracket, guidance and counseling, for the development and education of our children and young adults will likely produce magical results in the socio-economic development of our society. So, and I've tried to also look at what I think a mentor should be. From all the definitions I've gathered during my preliminary research about mentors, a mentor appears to be a trusted counselor or guide. That's what is defined as, and I believe that that's what a mentor should be. A mentor should be a trusted counselor or guide. I also think that to become an effective mentor, there has to be a request or application from a prospective mentee. There also has to be an offer from a prospective mentor and an acceptance by both. I think that some of the attributes of a good mentor includes, one, humility. I think a good mentor should be a humble person. And when I talk about humility, I really mean humility because when you understand you are just a human being that is very limited in what you can even know, not just what you know, but what you can know, what you can do, and all that. So, I mean, humility should be a good attribute for a mentor. I also think that a mentor should be a very respectful person. You have to be respectful because if you're not respectful, you can't even mentor anybody. You won't be able to listen. I also think that another attribute of a good mentor should be kindness. If you're not a kind-hearted person, you cannot mentor anybody because it means you can't do things without expecting an equivalent return. So I also think that a mentor should be a knowledgeable person. That is, should have the ability to acquire knowledge and transfer it. I also think a mentor should have experience. That is, you must have seen enough to be able to guide and counsel your mentee. So I also try to look at mentee. You know, what does that mean? So, and I think, you know, from what I've also gathered within my own limitations, a mentee is one who is being mentored. You know, to become an effective mentee, there has to be a request or application to the desired mentor and an offer from the prospective mentor and an acceptance by both. Some of the attributes I thought a good mentee should have for an effective mentorship is one is humility. The same thing with a good mentor. I feel that a good mentee should have humility, respectfulness, kindness, and lastly but not the least, willingness and ability to learn. Because if you have a mentee that is not able or willing to learn, then you know it's like pouring water on stone. So those are some of my thoughts about who should be candidate for mentorship. Then also, based on the topic, looked at a relationship between a mentor and a mentee. My thoughts are that the relationship between a mentor and a mentee should be built on a foundation of mutual. One cannot constructively guide or counsel the mentee if he or she could not listen effectively to understand the aspirations, knowledge, experiences, strengths, and weaknesses of the mentee. Sometimes you see people who even try to mentor people without even trying to understand what those people want, what makes them happy, you know, what their natural inclinations are, experiences, knowledge, strengths, and weaknesses. I feel that that's the wrong way to go about it. First of all, the person does not have respect, because if you respect someone, you first of all want to listen and understand that person. I think still in the realm of respect, that a mentee cannot learn from and be guided mentor if they don't have respect for the mentor. So it's a reciprocal relationship. If it doesn't exist, mutual respect doesn't exist, I don't see how the mentorship can happen. I also think that love, when I talk about love, I'm talking about, you know, quality mentorship is such a huge deal that you can't easily compensate for it by offering money or material gifts. Compensate for quality mentorship, because quality mentorship should be what a mentor gives to a mentee without expecting anything in return. It's actually a product of love. There's no other way to get quality mentorship apart from showing love to the person, because it can't really be compensated for easily if it's quality mentorship. Beyond that, then is a transaction. So I also looked at, based on the topic, the impact of mentorship on human capital development. I know human capital development is a stock of habits, knowledge, social and personality attributes. That's including creativity, embodied in the ability to perform labor so as to produce economic value. You know, human capital development starts from conception, birth, through infancy, teenage, adolescence, adulthood, and it ends at death. So, I mean, any living human being should be humble enough to dispose him or herself for continuous development. And once you're continuously developing yourself, you're still being mentored. So a substantial part of what parents should be doing with their children, I believe, from infancy through teenage to adolescence, is mentorship. Beyond shelter, feeding, clothing, healthcare, mentorship is the most important component of human capital development. That's my feeling. I could be wrong, but until we go to question answer, we can develop it further. So, and also my thoughts are that the major bane of all underdeveloped and developing economies of the world is a culture of human capital underdevelopment. I can't emphasize this enough. That's the major problem of most developing and underdeveloped economies. It's not about who has oil and all that. It's about human capital underdevelopment. Once you don't appreciate and respect human beings as the image and likeness of God, you're not going to go anywhere. I also think that quality human capital is the most consequential ingredient to community development. I mean, we don't need to N.J. Gabriel to make us understand this one. So, but we can question it further as we go on. So I try to make this presentation as short as possible so that we can go into the real exciting part of it. So this is Q&A session. This is where the conversation happens. So can a younger person be a mentor to an older person? I'm ready to make an attempt at this question that I threw up here. I also asked the question, can you have more than one mentor? I will also make an attempt if the president wants me to attempt that question. And I put ETC. I mean, we can all ask a question. My suggestion is that we first of all get in all the questions. Then the president and chief officer can now guide us through the rest of the session. If they want me to take on a question, they should get me to answer the question when they are asked. At this point, I will thank everybody for listening to me, and I'll state again that I am a very limited human being. I only mention some of these things that I say to annoy you people, and I hope you don't get too angry with me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Please, let's give him a round of applause.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was fantastic.
Right.
So the questions, I think, will help us go into the conversation.
Dubem, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Hi, Dubem.
Sir?
Hello?
I can hear you, sir.
Hello,
Dubem. Yes,
okay,
I can hear you.
Okay, you raised the question, but I'm not quite sure you've answered that question. Can a younger person mentor an older person? What would be the circumstance where a younger person will end up mentoring an older person?
Okay, sir. My answer is...
I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me? Okay, thank you, sir. Can every other person hear me?
Just go on. I will go off and come back.
Yeah, you can be heard. I can hear you. Loud and clear.
Okay, good. President,
yeah, I did. Are you?
Uncle Chike's question.
Hello? As also the question. Are you ready? Huh? Hello?
Can I? Okay, I think President is saying what I want. President, what did you say? Can't hear you. And everybody else here, is it President that is having the issues?
I think it's President that's having the issue. He had the same issue yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can hear you. I can hear you.
I think. Okay, we can now. What
Yeah,
are you in? Sorry.
Somebody can hear me, right? I can hear.
I can hear you now. I said, go ahead. What were you saying?
Okay, so I was saying that maybe before the Q&A, let's take Chibueze off here, so we'll move into the Q&A, the interactive part of the session.
Yes, that's what I support your points.
So Chibueze off here will be coming on now. Then after that, we'll move into the Q&A, so it will be more interactive.
Okay. Thank you, Presido.
Yeah.
I hope everyone can hear me now.
Very well.
Okay,
Whatever you want.
to my phone. And so what happened today shows that you can never be over prepared, because me and Presido, we thought we even did a test run this afternoon and everything worked perfectly. Unfortunately, we found a way around it. Last week, Presido called me and informed me that I'm going to be presenting in this webinar I'm talking about mentor and mentee relationship and the necessity in human capital development. My first thought was, Uche, mentor-mentee relationship is important, and that's it. But somehow I just decided not to give him that answer as Presido. So I now told him I had to tell him that that I'm not an authority when it comes to mentor-mentee relationship. That I feel some other people have more experience when it comes to mentor-mentee relationship. Then he asked a question, a very important question. He asked me to recommend the most experienced person when it comes to mentor-mentee relationship. And I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to tell him again. Because mentor-mentee relationship, I've asked a lot of people and everybody thinks it's important. Once you ask anybody, they will tell you mentor-mentee relationship is important. But then when you now go further to ask them whether they have a mentor, most people will tell you no, that they don't have a mentor. But then when you also check further, you see that somehow they must have had a mentor. But the problem here is that it wasn't really a formal relationship. It might have been informal. So it made me interested in the topic, and I accepted to do some deep dive into the topic. So in my deep dive, I tried to, I more like did a research to see what mentoring and mentor-mentee relationship is all about. And
very fine.
And but then I don't want to dwell so much on my research because I feel the most important thing here is the actual experience. I believe a lot of us must have had actual mentor-mentee relationship experience. So I'll try to keep my presentation very brief so that we could, so that those of us that have a better experience could talk about it. So I did some research, and then the definition when it comes to what is mentoring, the definition is very, the topic is actually very broad, and there's no single definition for mentoring. But then I found two that made a lot of sense to me, and one of them is that mentoring is a particular mode of learning wherein the mentor not only supports the mentee but also challenges them productively so that progress is made. And the second definition that made sense to me is that mentoring is essentially about helping people to develop more effectively, and it is a relationship designed to build confidence and support the mentee so they are able to to take control of their own development and work. So in this case, one thing is common in these two definitions. There has to be development. The mentor is helping the mentee to develop their capacity. And then in mentoring, there are three components to it. The first one is relational. So there has to be some form of relationship between the mentor and the mentee. Without the relationship, there's no mentoring. And then it has to be developmental. Okay, someone needs to mute his mic.
Sorry, who is? Continue.
Yeah. Okay. So it has to be developmental. So we know there, of course, there are several types of relationships. But if a relationship exists and then it's not developmental, then of course it's not a mentor-mentee relationship. So that developmental part of it is very key. And then it's also contextual. It depends on the context, right? So the kind of mentoring and the kind of relationship depends on the context, which we'll talk about more later on this discussion. So there are some features of mentor-mentee relationship, and a key feature of the mentoring relationship is that the more experienced individual helps another individual to achieve his or her goals and develop as a person. The mentor may help the mentee to develop specific job skills or leadership capacity. So in this case, it talks about an experienced individual helping another to achieve his or her goals. The experience here is the most important thing, not the age. So in this case, if a younger person has more experience than an older person, then the younger person can serve as a mentor to the older person once the younger person has more experience than the older person. So the experience is very key. The relationship has to be developmental. And then also, according to the relational theories of mentorship, it asserts that the intervention is not a unilateral passing of skills from mentor to mentee, but a process of mutual exchange where growth is propelled by the relationship itself. So in this case, when we talk about mentor-mentee relationship, it seems as if it's always the mentor passing skills and knowledge to the mentee. Whereas in the relationship, the mentor as well acquires some knowledge and also develops his own skill. So it's a mutual relationship between the mentor and the mentee. The mentor develops his own capacity, and the mentee also develops his own capacity as well. Mentoring has several developmental use, and some of them I've listed them below. But then, of course, this is not exhaustive because it goes beyond this. Leadership development. Mentoring can help young leaders to develop or hone their leadership skills. So in this case, more experienced leaders will help to pass down their experience to their mentees, so their leadership capacity can also improve. Then we also have knowledge retention, where the older generation that have more experience, they can use mentoring to pass down the experience to the younger generation. And then skills sharing, where if a particular skill is desired, mentoring could be used to pass down that skill from an experienced mentor to a mentee. And academic development as well. Mentoring helps in academic development, career planning. Then succession planning, where we've identified a young person that has potentials to occupy a key position in the community or in an organization. mentoring can be used for succession planning to prepare the mentee to take the future role. Then it has other applications for maternity and paternity mentoring for young couples and also for marriage mentoring. But then this is not exhaustive because it goes beyond this. So when it comes to the benefit of mentoring to the mentee, like there are a lot of benefits, and this quote by the statement by Sir Isaac Newton captures it all. If I have seen further, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. It captures it all. So in this case, the mentor provides information and knowledge to the mentee, and he also provides encouragement to the mentee and helps to keep him going. Because we know that when it comes to development, it's not easy. It's a difficult task for someone to develop his capacity. It's very difficult, and the mentee in most cases will have some bottlenecks, which the mentor has already experienced in the past. So the mentor provides encouragement to the mentee, and the mentor will also help to push the mentee out of their comfort zone, because we can't grow when we are in our comfort zone, right? Growth is not a comfortable process. So the mentor helps with this to push the mentee out of their comfort zone. The mentor is also a trusted advisor and a connector. The mentor being more experienced, it usually have more network or a better network than the mentee, right? So he could help the mentee with connections where required. And also of course, mentorship is free. So it makes a lot of sense to take advantage of the benefits since it's free. Then for the mentor, it's not just the mentee that benefits from the relationship. The mentor benefits as well, because if you're a mentor, it means you are in a position of a role model. And as a role model, you're in a position of leadership. So if you mentor a lot of people, it means you're constantly developing your leadership skills, and you of course definitely become a better leader. Then communication skills. Yeah.
Sorry, please, can you try? I think your screen is down. Can you try putting it up again? Like sharing your screen. I don't think your screen is being seen by.
No, but I think the talk is going on well. He can share the content later.
Okay, that's fine.
Please go on. We are hearing you.
Okay. So mentorship, to be a mentor, you have to be an active listener, and like you also have to develop like strategic communication skills. So the more people you sharpen those skills, your communication skills and your listening skills, then it's also a learning opportunity, because in most cases we see that mentors are usually of older generation than their mentee, and we know that mentees they have, or the younger generation, they are usually more tech savvy than the older generation. So aside from the mentor passing down knowledge to the mentee also has some knowledge to transfer. This could be maybe like tech skills, right? And then the mentor can also gain some new perspectives, because let's take, for example, a mentor trying to promote a new product. The mentor might be thinking in terms of using the traditional media to promote a product, while the mentee, a younger, a millennial, might be thinking in terms of using social media and might have more skills using social media to promote products, which is even more effective now than the traditional media. So the mentor also gains new perspective, and I think that's even enough for you to be able to give back to the community. And then the personal satisfaction you derive from seeing someone, from helping someone to develop their skills, it's immense. And then I also looked at some popular mentor-mentee relationships that we have. So we have the Dan Tata and Dangote, right? And Dan Tata being the grandfather and helping Dangote and also helping him by providing his business. So in this case, we could see the mentoring relationship between family members or within an extended family. In our own community, we also have similar cases. We have for example, Nezi Venso being mentored by her mom, Barrister, and I believe we have a lot of cases. We also have Maya Angelou, the popular poet and author, mentoring Oprah Winfrey. Mentors are important in the world without some form of mentorship. So this is Oprah buttressing the importance of mentorship. We also have the case of Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg, Freddie Laker and Richard Branson. Of course, we have like a lot of them. But then this is just to show that mentorship is very important. And then the CEO of PepsiCo, Indra Nooyi, she said, if I hadn't had mentors, I wouldn't be here today. I'm buttressing the importance of mentoring, mentor-mentee relationship. What of our forefathers, or what was their feeling? Do they also believe in mentor-mentee relationship? Do they also feel that relationship is important, or is it just so I did a deep dive and I discovered that I felt that mentor also instituted it in the olden days. So I looked at the traditional forms of mentorship in our community, and we have Ozuzu. Even though it's no longer in practice, but Ozuzu is a mentoring program practiced in the olden days, emphasis skills and knowledge required to build their family. Older women of reputable character serve as mentors to new brides and guide them on how to raise their new family. And aside from Ozuzu, we also have the extended family. Of course, we know the saying that so the extended family in this case it's a lot of mentorship goes on within the extended family, and this kind of mentorship develops naturally because they were not matched, and this natural connection even makes the result of the relationship better because the mentor and the mentee have a very good connection. So later on in this dynamics of the relationship, of the mentor-mentee relationship. And another example, which is still in practice, is Omugo. Yeah, so most of us, I know we wouldn't see it as a mentor-mentee, but but that's what it actually is, because we have new mothers are being mentored by their own mother on how to take care of their children. So this shows us, this example shows us that our forebears, they believe in mentor-mentee relationship, and they believe that it helps to build to develop the human capacity. And this is not exhaustive. I know a lot, and I couldn't just go beyond those. So other forms of mentor-mentee relationships in our community. There are several that involves naturally. Hello? Okay, sorry, I think I was cut off.
Yeah, your network was bad. Continue, Chibeze.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so there are other forms of mentorship. We have the one-on-one mentoring, or the traditional mentoring, which involves a mentor. You have a mentor mentoring a mentor-mentee relationship. One mentor mentoring a mentee. That's the most common, but then it goes beyond that. We
Chiweze, I think you should pull down your picture so that we can hear you. I think your network is bad.
Between people of equal experience. So this now shows us that mentoring, for mentoring, the mentor doesn't always have to have more experience than the mentee. Two people of equal experience can mentor each other. Their role at different times. Okay. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, Chibeze. I think this is better.
Okay. Okay, so in the case of peer mentoring, two people of equal experience, they can mentor. The good thing here is that they can always exchange their roles. So one can serve as a mentor to the other person. And
your voice is gone bad again. We can't hear you very well.
The other person to serve as.
Uche, please let's talk on the case.
Sorry, I've let everybody in. I think maybe his network.
Hello? Hello?
That one, the one that is very clear. You can let the phone back to the screen. Just use the phone media. Should be fine.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm back up now. Okay. I'm back up now.
Okay, so I was talking about the different types of mentoring. Then we have group mentoring, where a particular mentor helps a group of mentees to develop their skill. In this case, it helps when you have a limited number of mentors in the community. So you could assign multiple mentees to a mentor, and that way it increases the impact of the mentorship program within the community. And we have the reverse mentoring, where the mentor is younger and less experienced than the mentee. So in this case, the mentee has more experience than the mentor. This is also important because the younger ones, or the less experienced ones, they come with new perspectives, new views, and they also have some skills that the mentee could benefit from. Sorry.
Go on, Chibueze, we can hear you.
Okay. I'll continue. Even though it sounds weird to me, it's echoing. I can hear myself. Okay. Yeah, I think I've controlled it now. So I'll continue. So now, for the relationship quality, is very important when it comes to the relationship. It's very important. There are a lot of factors that determine the outcome of the mentor-mentee relationship. The first is authenticity. And in this case, the mentor has to be open with the mentee, and also attempts to build trust with the mentee. And also for mentorship to happen effectively, the mentor has to understand that the difference in power is temporary, and the mentor should be consistently working towards equality. That's trying to bring the mentee up to his own standards, so that they will be on equal level. So authenticity is very important. And we have empathy. For mentorship to yield good results, the mentor has to be able to connect well with the mentee. He has to understand the mentee's actions and his feelings as well. And this is very important for the relationship to thrive. Collaboration, both mentor and mentee, they have to collaborate to achieve the results they have, or the goals they have set for the relationship. And also, it's also good for the mentor and mentee to also collaborate on tasks. So they can set a task in which the two of them will collaborate to achieve the task. That way, the mentor will transfer knowledge to the mentee while collaborating. Then companionship, the feeling of closeness, is very key to the mentor-mentee relationship. Then the duration of the relationship. If the mentor-mentee relationship is stopped prematurely, most likely the outcome, the positive outcomes will diminish. So the duration is very important. If we are to yield any positive result from mentoring, the duration is very important. And Kohler and Co, two people that have done some research on mentoring, they recommend that the relationship should continue 1 to 2 years after the mentor and mentee have been matched. Then consistency. The time and the frequency of communication or contact between the mentee and the mentor is equally important to yield positive results. And then commitments. Both parties have to be committed to the relationship. And the communication strategy of the mentor. The mentor has to adopt a superior communication strategy. And once he adopts this, it will support the enthusiasm and confidence in the mentee's ability to achieve the goals of the relationship. So this communication, it involves guidance, how he guides the mentee, and then how he sets the goals of the relationship, and also assigning tasks to the mentee. The communication has to be of superior quality for them to get to achieve the goals of the relationship. Then some interesting facts about mentoring. At the Olivet Nazarene University, they recently surveyed 3,000 people about professional mentor-mentee relationships in 2019. And here is what they found, that 76% of the people they surveyed think that mentors are important. However, only 37% of people currently have a mentor. And then only 14% of mentor relationships started by asking someone to be their mentor. 61% of those relationships develop naturally. So here we can, and also people with mentors are happier at their current jobs than those without mentors. So here we can see that 76% believe, just like me, they believe that mentors are very important. But then we only have 37% that have mentors. So the question is, why, for those that believe, for the rest that believe that mentorship is very important and they don't have mentors, why is that? I haven't done further research to know why they have not, they don't have mentors, even though they believe the relationship is important. But what I believe is that the way forward is for everyone to find a mentor, to get a mentor. And let it not end at believing that the relationship is important. It shouldn't stop there, but we should all go further to get a mentor. And how do you do that? So before you reach out to a mentor, you should first of all focus on setting a goal for your mentoring. Why do you even want someone to mentor you in the first place? And what do you expect from your mentor? That's the first step to take when it comes to finding a mentor. And then you research across various disciplines and functions to find the best mentor for you. So you have to go beyond maybe your organization. You can research across different organizations and different disciplines. And then you also have to ask yourself, whose job would you like to have in the next 5 years, 10 years, or 15 years? That will guide you in also finding or selecting a good mentor for you. So for students, for students that are not that are still in school, they can ask themselves, who do I admire, or whose grade or whose performance do I want to achieve maybe next year or in the next 2 years or whatever. That will help them to select a good mentor for themselves. And then you also have to, first of all, after identifying them, you have to explore, maybe have a chat with them to understand their point of view. And this is also very important to, you need to establish a connection with your mentor. This is very important because even though someone has a good achievement, you admire someone because he has achieved so much in his field. But then in some cases, if the person has a bad character, even though he has achieved so much, selecting him as a mentor might be detrimental to your development because of his bad character. So it's very important to, first of all, explore with them, chat with them to even understand their point of view. And you can also ask for referrals. You can ask people to refer a mentor for you. The most important thing here is to clearly communicate your goals. Then sometimes you already know people, you already have people in your network that you admire that could serve as mentors. It's always easier to start with those within your network. So for mentoring, how can Ibobo encourage mentoring? So for Ibobo, we already know that Ibobo, we've already set up our education foundation, gives out awards to high-performing students. So for those outstanding students that receive the Ibobo Education Awards, we could find a way to more like to foster peer-to-peer mentoring between them and their fellow students. We could do this by creating a forum for students to interact with each other. So in this case, they are all students, but those achieving, if we provide a forum for them, those that the high achievers will somehow serve as a mentor to those aspiring to perform better. And then when it comes to succession planning, we have implemented this before, but at some point we discontinued. And I feel it's also important. We should identify potential individuals that could take up key leadership positions in Ibobo, and then set up a mentor-mentee relationship between them and the current leadership. This way, we could help them, the future leaders, we could help hone their leadership skills in preparation for their future roles. Then I also believe that we could also set up some activities that will help foster informal mentoring relationship between Ibobo members.
Yeah.
And finally, I believe that in the saying that if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So we somehow have to find a way to measure our performance when it comes to mentoring people. If we can measure it, then we can even set targets for ourselves and then keep improving when it comes to mentor-mentee relationship. This is not exhaustive, and I believe there are other ways that Ibobo could encourage mentoring. So I will leave it open to the House to discuss other ways that we could improve mentor-mentee relationship. Thank you so much for listening, and sorry for
All right, please let's give Chibueze a round of applause for a job well done. So that was a nice one from Chibueze of here from a research perspective. So it's now to have the interactive session where we get to ask questions and get answers for the questions we've asked. So yeah, so I don't know, Chief Chike asked the question first. I don't know if that has been addressed. Okay, Uncle, please, now we can ask your question.
Maybe I should, yeah, maybe I can ask the question again.
All right.
First of all, I want to thank the presenter for a well-researched paper, scholarly paper. You know, very good, very good. I must say that, you know, this has shown that, you know, in Omavu, we have everything. We have everything that makes a good, you know, and a successful community. So thank you, my godson. Now, he made a very good point. about how Ibobo can mentor those of them that were looking to do better in the academic work. It reminds me of, I'm a member of St. Vincent de Paul, and in our church in Lagos, I mean, when I was spending more time in Lagos, we also for, indigent people around the parish. But one of the things that we do is, as soon as we give you a scholarship, we will nominate a mentor for you, because the mentor is supposed to monitor your growth, your development. The mentor is supposed to be sure that you're even going to school in the first place, because you can give a scholarship, you can grant a scholarship to somebody, and the person is not actually going to school. Maybe was going to school when you granted the scholarship, but you need a mentor that will help the person in personal development, in understanding where the person wants to be in 6 months, in 1 year, in 3 years. So I thank the presenter for the deep, deep dive that he did on. For the ones that are doing well academically, we'll find ways of pairing them with mentors, not just their peers, but also people in the community that have done well. So that, when you have somebody in your community telling you the right path to follow, guiding you along the way, you are likely going to come out well, likely going to do well. Because it's not just about going to school and getting a degree. It's about going to school and obtaining a skill that is a skill that is required in the workplace, so that you become what I picked up from his presentation. So he also answered my question. I think he answered my question very well. Can a younger person mentor an older person? He said yes, especially when the younger person is more experienced, more knowledgeable, especially in professional basis, professionally. When the younger person is more knowledgeable, the person will be required to help mentor even older persons. It's not an age thing. It's more of who is more experienced, who is more knowledgeable. And at the end of the day, that is what you need. That's one of the things that's lacking in our environment: mentor-mentee culture. And I love this paper. Now the question is, can some of us, our connection was coming in and going out. Is it possible that those that are attending this conference or this program can get a copy of that presentation? Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, Chief Chike. So yes, the papers for each of the presentation from both our presenters will be dropped on our platforms, and it can be disseminated to everyone who needs a copy.
Thank you very much.
All right. So thank you very much, sir. We have like 20 minutes left, so we need to utilize it as best as we can. So if you have questions, you could either drop them on the comments or raise your hand so that you can ask questions to any of the presenters. Thank you. Okay, so I have Dr. Obina.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much, Presido. And I want to thank the presenters, Dubem and Old School, for the beautiful job they've done. The topic is a good one. I'll just go straight to the point. I'm just wondering about this topic and how it will trickle down to our people. You understand? How will it practically be applied in Ibobo? I understand what Chike has said. I'm just thinking that practically, is it possible for us to set up what a residency program in America, where a school that is or an institution that is ready to accept. You understand? So I don't know whether we can have a diary of people that are ready to be mentors. Somebody like a Chike is ready to mentor. Somebody like Dr. Njez, I saw him here. He's ready to mentor. I think I'm ready to mentor. And so on. School and so on. A number of us, a number of us people that are ready to mentor, and also find a way to get a diary of people. You understand? Then we can actually be matching them, and then we'll find a way that they could be, discussing maybe every week or every 2 weeks. They should have some interaction. I think that is make this impactful. We can a diary for mentors and mentees, and then we'll match them, and then we can move from there. That's what I suggest. Move way forward. Ahead. My goodness, I've been talking. Hello?
We are hearing you.
Okay, very good. Okay. Okay, fine. So I'm finished.
You are not finished. How can you be finished?
I said I have finished.
Okay, I thought you say you have finished.
No, I have finished. I don't know whether we understood what
I understood. I heard you very clearly.
Lazo.
I don't know what others did.
Okay, very good. President doesn't seem to be with me.
Yeah, I did. I heard you. So
okay, very good.
Yeah. So that was.
So what I'm basically saying, what I'm saying is that I think that we can just have, yeah.
Okay, good. So now I also asked a question at the end of my own short
presentation.
So, and the question was, can you have more than one mentor? So,
yes.
yeah. So I said I'm ready to give my opinion about that, and also allow other people ask. I think we should get people to ask questions. So can somebody answer my own question?
Yes, you can have more than one.
Yes, I think someone can have more than one mentor.
Okay, good.
Okay, it can be based on your career, and it can also be based on your spiritual life. So you can have a mentor for a spiritual life, and you can have a mentor on career. So I think you can actually have two mentors at the same time.
Is it only two, or can I have more than two?
I think more than two, depend on the kind of life you want or what you want.
Okay,
I just use a spiritual part and academic parts as for an example.
Yeah, so you can have as many mentors as the activities you want people to mentor you in.
Yes, that's my opinion.
Mentor you in.
No.
Hello?
Yes, that's my opinion.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, okay. This is Nkiru. Nkiru Onodugo.
We can hear your voice. Go ahead.
Okay, yes. So I'll answer Dubem's question, but just to chip in on another comment I want to make based on the presentations that have been made. I think that apart from just matching mentors and mentees, I think it's also important that people, especially those who are going to be mentored, have a say in choosing who their mentors will be. You know, the mentees can actually have a say in choosing who their mentors will be, depending, of course, on how many mentors are available. And because I think that, Yes, of course, it can be in a controlled manner, but I think that when someone chooses who he or she thinks can mentor her, that it's actually a bit more impactful. That doesn't mean that there can't be any matching, but as much as possible, I think that people should be given that opportunity based on, you know, their career or whatever purpose they want to be mentored about. Then back to the question, yes, of course, you can have as many mentors as possible, but it's also important that you don't have mentors who also clash. If mentor A is telling me something and mentor B is telling me something that is different from what mentor A is telling me, then it can be a bit confusing. So in as much as you can have more than one mentor, I think that this is a conflict that can come up too. So that makes it easier or maybe more practical, I think, to have just limit the number of mentors you can have at a time. Thank you.
Great. If we are giving all our opinion, I have one more question that I want to ask.
But Dubem, what's your own opinion?
Okay,
what's your own opinion on that question?
I agree with Amoge. That's what I see on her name. I agree with Amoge. You can have as many mentors as areas of life that you need them. You can even have more than one mentor area as long as they are constructive mentors.
But Nkiru's point is also very important. It could become confusing. It could become counterproductive.
That's where I want to go. Let me finish. What I feel is that first is that in choosing mentor, we have to do it in a way that is very organized and structured, because there are more bad mentors than there are good mentors. That's my opinion. A mentor can be your guru. If you choose the wrong mentor, you could be somebody who is ordinarily inclined to be being very faithful and all that, but you have a mentor, then you go randy. A bad mentor, then you go randy. So I think it's important, if you're choosing mentor, the process of choosing that mentor is actually more important than the mentor you have chosen. Because from my own experience, there are more bad mentors than good ones. You know, and that's why you see sometimes when people begin to go to a particular individual to be their marriage father, like Dr. Onadugo, you begin to see, you know, then he will be wondering why people are choosing him only. You know, I'm sure those are guided by parents and other people who even feel that they are not even good enough for such mentorship. So I feel that we can have as many mentors as those that are certified good for mentorship in the particular area. Beyond setting up a way of matching mentors, I actually think we should find a way of screening people in areas that we want them to mentor, because somebody that is a good mentor, say someone that can mentor you as a medical student cannot be the same person that will mentor you as a good art student. So I feel you should have a lot more mentors, and once you have orientation of learning the positive things and understanding that no human being is God, that we are all human beings with limitless limitations, right? Our strengths are almost insignificant compared to our weaknesses. So then we now understand the importance of having enough mentors and picking only the positives as much as we can.
Okay. The other point, sorry, Chike here. The other point is the point that Nkiru made, allowing the mentees to choose their mentors. I don't agree. I mean, you just touched on it when you were speaking. There's a possibility that everybody might just want to choose Dr. Onodu. And, you know, clearly, Dr. Onodu.
You lost. Okay, it looks like we can't hear him. Can I speak?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
I'll be mentoring 50 persons.
Okay.
What people should do is get the mentors. And that way, you're not going to get it 100%, but you're going to get it closer to 100%. But when you say everybody should choose, they might all choose Dr. Geb and Jeza, who might not even have the time to attend to all of them. So, you know, there has to be a structure, and that structure can be worked on. I guess we're not going to conclude that tonight.
Yeah. Can I say something? Can I speak?
Go ahead.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Now, you know, when people speak, I want to speak from my own experience. In my place of work, in surgery, I actually had 5 mentors. And they came naturally as I worked with them. And you know what happens? You work with one person and he mentors you. When you get to the next person, he builds on what you have learned from the other person. And there was never a clash. And at the end of the day, I became a junior friend to 5 of them. You can have as many mentors as you want to have. And of course, it depends on what you want to do. But like I say, speaking from my own experience in surgery, I also mentored younger doctors, medical students, and many of them have not regretted it. And you know, when you mentor somebody, you will not stay with him all the time. It's a matter of short pieces of advice that mean a lot. And from time to time, you see the person or persons, and you want to know if they're implementing what you told them. And then you, of course, usually advise them that if they do, they will not regret it. Incidentally, too, I left on 2 occasions. I went out of my way to mentor my younger colleagues that I had been teaching surgery, and I taught them how to marry as well, and they married doctors as well, and they came to my house to each thank me for the advice. They have found it profitable. So I think that you can have as many mentors as you wish to. It depends on what you want to do, who you think should. All you need to do is to show him the light and he will find the way. That's what I think. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Somi said something here as part of her suggestion. She said in order to prevent mentor burnout, we can also study the person's trait and tend to emulate and practice it without overburdening the mentors.
Okay, let me speak to that. Even though, like I said, I am not an expert, I speak from with a disclaimer. I feel that there is a slight difference between mentors and role models. Slight difference. The difference for me is that a mentor is more active than a role model. A role model is what I think Somi is talking about. I feel that a role model is more passive, because a role model could include Naomi Campbell. You like the way she dresses, she's slim, then you want to go and do exercise, you want to dress like her and all that. That's a role model, right? So I think we should distinguish between a role model and a mentor. A mentor is more active. A mentor might not, be the person you are just looking at from a distance, because what a mentor can tell you cannot get from looking and imagining, because most times the devil is in the details. A mentor brings out the details and will tell you where the devil who is waiting for you.
A mentor is more structured.
Yes, exactly. That's what I think. So it's good to understand the difference between a mentor and a role model.
Right. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And I just want to add, yeah, and Kiri speaking, I want to add something. I want to say that sometimes we think that the relationship is driven just by the mentor. I want to say that the mentee also can actually drive the relationship. So is not the mentor being active and the mentee passively following. I think that you as a mentee can actually inspire your mentor to take you more seriously. So sometimes the way you actually take the relationship can bring out the best in the mentor. So it's a two-way thing. It's not,
I agree.
It's easier to, yes, it's not someone that is down the hill that you're pulling up. No, it's two people working together with one person ahead. So it's not, the mentee is not entirely passive in this relationship. Yes, thank you.
Good
All
point.
Right. Thank you, Dr. Nkiru. Thank you. So Chisom's hand is raised. So let's get what Chisom has to say.
Yeah, thank you very much, President, and thanks to everyone that has dropped the major gems of wisdom.
Okay.
I wanted to say something, but I think Dubem already mentioned about the difference between like role models and mentors. I think that the point Somi was trying to make, which is still a role model, is where you're trying to learn from somebody that is away from you. But like the mentoring thing now involves more practical experiences, just like James said. So Somi has given an example here of Oprah Winfrey. If you want to learn from Oprah Winfrey, you can read her books, you can watch her videos. That's role modeling. But if you are close to Oprah Winfrey in a way that you actually can go to her house, maybe you guys go out to lunch once in a while, she shares her war stories with you, and you also tell her when you have issues, I think that's when you near the mentoring thing. But one thing I wanted to talk about, especially from the question that came about how many mentors you can have at a time, I think it is important, especially for the people being mentored, to realize that it is not just in gathering mentors, it's actually in implementation. Action is a very important part of that relationship, because you could get to a point where you just keep like you're just so overwhelmed with all the advice you're getting. You have so many wonderful people in your circle, you are learning from all of them, and every time you're with pen and paper writing down, you're recording things, they are dropping so many gems and everything is flowing, but you find out that you are actually not implementing, you're not executing anything. So I think that one of the rules of a mentor is actually following through to make sure that the things that you're sharing or that the mentoring you're doing is translating into action and not just words. Because then, if that's what is happening, then it just becomes a complete mentorship paralysis. That's what some may call it. Just like we have some other thing that's also analysis paralysis. So I guess this one would be mentorship paralysis. Thank you.
Nico, before we end, hello, President.
Yeah. Uncle, please, we have to.
Before we end, is it possible for us to appoint a director of mentorship or director of mentoring or whatever? Somebody that takes up a responsibility. Anyway, we don't have to do it in this session, but I think it's something we need to do to get somebody who is responsible for this mentoring program, and who will organize and so on a structure that will use to mentor more younger people, in our communities.
All right, thank you, Dr. Obina. I think that we'll maybe talk about that by our next meeting, which should be at the end of next month. So, but before we leave, we just need to quickly take 3 more questions or suggestions. I see Somto's hand is raised. So let's take Somto's hand first before we take Mrs. Chinwode's second. All right.
Okay. So this is actually Chibueze. I'm using Somto's phone. Yeah. So I wanted to. So now a lot of young people are interested in entrepreneurship, and we have successful entrepreneurs like Dubem Jeze in our midst. So I want to ask, I want to direct this question to Dubem. Do you have a mentor that played a key role in your success as an entrepreneur? And can you tell us about your experience with your mentor?
Okay, fantastic. I as well. So, my mentorship started with my father and mother. Then my siblings, like my immediate elder sister, was not just a mentor, but a big inspiration. My cousin, Okenjeze, was also a big mentor and a big inspiration for me. Odarije, the Igwe, was larger than life as a mentor for me. So my experience is that I did not need to go to strange places to get mentor. Of course, by the time I became an undergraduate, Opadikogu was, larger than life for me. He was a big mentor. Uncle Chike, Uncle Obinna. So I had a lot of mentors. Now that I am trying to retire, now I have Chibwe Zofia as a mentor. I have
younger ones are now the one mentoring you.
Yeah, they are now mentoring me, right? So I learn a lot from them. They inspire me too. They make me, feel like I'm successful even when I am not. Because when you see people who, relate with you and they are doing well, like the president is a larger than life mentor for me now, because, I watched him as a child.
The president of Ibobo.
Yeah, the president of Ibobo, that's what I'm talking about. The president of Ibobo.
Before we think he's the president of somewhere else.
No, that one is a buffoon.
No, we don't want to quote you, please.
That one, before one line, I thought he had something. I didn't know he was very sick. So yeah. So the truth is that.
I think that Chibueze's question. I think that Chibueze's question is as per your entrepreneurship skills into entrepreneurship. You understand?
Yes.
Is it? Did you have a mentor? Did you have somebody in that direction? I think that's what he wants to know.
Exactly. So I was coming to that. I wanted to distinguish between those that mentored me and the role models I looked up to, right? So in terms of role models I looked up to in business, there are quite a number of them, right? So I try to distinguish between mentors and role models. Role models for me were people who looked perfect from the outside. I imagine what they did because I didn't speak with them. I read their books, like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Dangote. These are role models that I looked up to. And let me tell you what I learned from them. I learned from them that you can never grow a business living above your means. That was the only lesson I learned from them. Reading through all the in between the lines and all those things. What I learned from them is that the only way to grow in business is that when you make 2 naira as profit, you try to save 1 naira. It's as simple as that. So anybody that is trying to teach you things that are more complicated than that, well, I didn't learn that way. The only way I learned is that first, acquire a skill. We can't exhaust my experience here. If you want us to talk about my experience, we have to take a separate date. because it did not happen like magic. And I can tell you bit by bit. I can tell you where I started business from, what inspired me to do that. So, you know, hunger was also one of the greatest inspiration I had, because things were very hard when I was growing up. So I had to learn, you know, from being hungry. So, and part of what I also learned was that, you know, you can't be successful by having everything served you a la carte. So, you know, so there are a lot of things to talk about when it comes to that. The truth is that no mentor can make you a successful businessman, period.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Dubem, for that wonderful input. So we need to just quickly take Dr. Gel's question or suggestion before we take Ms. Chinwude and close for the day. All right, Dr. Gel, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
First of all, I want to thank, on behalf of my family, my husband is here, Badikogu. Thank the organizers of this webinar for a job well done. Honestly, I didn't know much about mentoring, but we know we've been doing it. From what I gathered this evening, you see that we are all mentors one way or the other. So starting from our parents, I heard someone talked about extended family. When you go to visit your uncle, there's something you learn. So your children, apart from career, because I see in the career-wise, you're talking about pairing people in order to gain skills or to encourage them to improve on their careers. But mentoring, just like every other, just like some of you have already observed, including Dubem, it starts way back from the time you're small in the family. And then when your parents ask you, you may think that staying with your parent is enough. No, sometimes they ask you to go and visit your grandmother. That's something you learn from her house. Go and visit this auntie. There's something, you stay for some time there. It's kind of mentoring. And then role model, modeling and mentoring, they are very much alike, though there are differences. A much younger person or somebody who is not even educated can be a mentor. Like in the case of grandmothers, like I'm talking about, they ask you, yeah, you know, I didn't go to school, but I want to look at that role model. Begin to look, begin to imitate and understudy the person. And I want you to get to that level, you know, where you don't even have it. Deprivation can motivate people into encourage people to. So it's just a nice evening. So, and yeah, as to Ibobo way to galvanize people to choose who they want to mentor. It's a natural thing. Just like.
I think we're losing her. Sorry, Chisom, can you still hear her from there?
Most of you are my mentors, eh? I'm still learning, so I will have the last say. I'm sure Panikogu is a great mentor here. Can say one or two.
Mine is just to congratulate people. Congratulate people who, the resource persons, all the contributors, and especially the Ibobo for creating this platform. It's wonderful. Let's talk about sustainability for tomorrow, because it is just beginning. It's just morning. Congratulations.
All right, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Panikogu and Dr. Ojelabi. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so we'll take the last one for the day. That's Ms. Chinwude before we close out.
Thank you very much, Uche. Presido. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited and happy to be part of this. I want to thank all the people that participated in organizing this. And indeed, even the last one that we did, this is the second one, so this is really good. And this topic especially is very exciting for me. And I can also feel the excitement from every other person, and that is why everybody is already thinking of turning the webinar into putting the structure for mentorship. I heard a couple of people talking about how it will work and how to structure it. Just a bit of advice that mentorship is a great thing and is important for us, but also like Dr. Mrs. Onodugu said, that a bit of flexibility is required. So even in the midst of the excitement, we need to apply that flexibility, but also within the framework. Chief Chike mentioned that it's not like we have to leave it open and for everybody to pick randomly, but at least if we allow people to make their schedule, let's not say it's a monthly or weekly meeting. Maybe if the mentor-mentee relationship exists, they should be able to fix their meeting cycle. I'm not sure we'll go into fixing meetings for them or saying this is the frequency or when in the month or when in the week that it is done. If we leave that aspect flexible, I believe the burnout will not be there. But where we put the structure and we insist on a monthly meeting, from my experience, it doesn't work so well. People abandon it. But if we allow that relationship to evolve naturally between the mentor and the mentee, I see it working well. So that's just the part that I wanted to mention. So thanks to everyone once again for their contribution.
All right, all right. So thank you, everyone. I think we've had a very wonderful session, and it was great having everyone here on board with our different suggestions and ideas and words of wisdom. I really appreciate the support so far that I've gotten from the member of this community, and I am grateful. We've overshot our time, by 13 minutes, and I also apologize. We've not gotten there technology-wise, right? We saw a whole back and forth with internet here and there. Maybe when 5G comes, we might do something better with it, right? So yeah, but in the meantime, I'm very, very grateful. Then we'll be having, the next meeting will be sometime next month, the last month. So that's when we'll be having, so it won't be a webinar. So it's going to be a meeting. We've not met since December. So we are going to have an Ibobo meeting where we deliberate on a lot of things. So yeah, so it's going to happen the last month of next month. So I just hope we come prepared. Thank you, and thank you to the presenters, Mr. Dubem Jeze. I'm very, very grateful, and Chibwe Zofia. The members of Ibobo community says thank you, and thank you very much. So if we don't mind, we could just turn on our cameras for just a screenshot, So.
A screenshot. I need to.
Yeah, so just turn on your cameras, please.
Only the ones that are radio. Don't turn on if you're not.
So please turn on your cameras. I don't think we have all ours. Please keep, I think we have some left. Okay. think we can go with this.
Yeah,
so,
some have
all
left.
right, all right,
Yeah.
all right. So, yeah. Okay. So, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
President.
Thank you, President. Powerful President.
President, thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much. That was a good one.
All right.
Thank
Thank you.
Well done, well done. Thank you so much.
All right.
Fantastic.
All right.
Good.
What the chicken?